Tell me about the last 5 books you read, and I can tell a lot about you. Because reading is one of the most powerful tools in reclaiming your authentic masculinity. Now, the books that you choose to read or the ones you choose not to read are a direct reflection of who you are today and, more importantly, of who you are becoming. Your books that you read or choose not to read reveal your priorities. They reveal your value. They let people know the direction you're headed in life. And your choices, they don't just inform your mind, but they shape your character, influence your decisions. They set the foundation for your growth as a person, as a man. Today, I want to explore why reading matters so much in this journey of reclaiming your masculinity, of what your current reading habits say about you, and how intentional reading can shape the man that you want to become. You know, there's a lot riding on this. Why does reading matter in reclaiming your masculinity? Well, reclaiming your masculinity is about breaking free from societal conditioning. It's rediscovering your purpose, and it's stepping into your role as a leader, as a provider, as a protector. This is not something that happens passively. It requires some action on your part. You know, we talked about that in the earlier video. Inaction and indecisiveness and what they're costing you. But reading requires action on your part. It requires reflection and learning. It's a key part of the process because reading does 3 things. It expands your perspective. The right books challenge your thinking. They introduce you to new ideas. They expose you to wisdom of others that have walked the similar paths that you're on and walk these paths of growth and leadership. And they give you the tools to help you navigate these challenges and inspire you to aim higher, to set bigger goals. Your reading habits strengthen your discipline. You know, we are bombarded with endless distractions. So sitting down to read, it requires some focus. It requires some intention. It's an act of discipline, and it trains your mind to resist the pull of instant gratification. That's why I prefer reading on my Kindle or on a physical book in my hand as opposed to reading on a phone or on the computer because of all the endless distractions. So on the Kindle, you don't have all those notifications dinging, buzzing, and blinging, and making all of those noises to distract you and call you into something else to mindlessly scroll. And so, in this world full of these distractions, reading, it helps you in that self-discipline. And it equips you with tools for growth. You know, whether it's practical skills or emotional intelligence or spiritual insight. The knowledge that you gain from books become tools that you add to your toolkit that you can use later on to lead, to build, to grow. Here's the catch. Not all books are created equal. The books that you choose to read matter deeply. It's important. Some books will push you toward growth, while others may keep you stuck or feed into that negative trance that you've been living in, that you've been trying to break free from. So pay attention to what books you're actually reading, what books you're getting. And the books you read say a lot about you. So Just imagine sitting down and listing the last 5 books you've read. I know some of you say, well, I haven't read a book since college. Well, that says a lot about why you're feeling stuck, why you're in this rut. But just the last 5 you've read, or the 3, or the 2, or the 1. And let's break it down. Just say you have read a few books. What books are you focused on? Are they solely for entertainment, or are you reading books to help you grow? If your last 5 books were purely for entertainment, novels, thrillers, escapist fiction, then to me that suggests that you might be using reading as a way to distract yourself from the challenges of everyday life. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a good book, sitting down. I like to read Sherlock Holmes. I like to read some science fiction. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe is one. I don't read a whole lot of fiction. I'm very choosy on which ones I do read. But, if all you read is fiction all the time, you're probably looking to escape. But on the other hand, if your book list includes books on personal development, leadership, Christianity, masculinity, it shows that you are actively looking to improve yourself. And these choices reflect a person whose values are focused on growth and change rather than comfort and pleasure. Or your reading list also shows whether you're stuck in the past or you're planning for the future. If all your books are about nostalgia, the good old days, reliving the past, then that can indicate that you're stuck in a loop of what was instead of what's next. But on the opposite side, books that explore strategy, vision, self-mastery, they suggest forward thinking. And that's a mindset that we're looking to cultivate and build, one that's focused on building a better future. And then your reading list will also let me know whether you're seeking to understand yourself and others. How many books have you read on psychology or relationship or communication skills or emotional intelligence? These type of books show me that you're working on self-awareness. You're improving your interactions with others. And this is a hallmark of authentic masculinity. Take a look at how beautiful it is this morning. But this is a hallmark of authentic masculinity, the ability to connect deeply, to lead effectively, to build meaningful relationships. So what type of books do you need to be reading? What type of books are you needing to add to your reading list? And if you're ready to reclaim your authentic masculinity, then the books that you choose should align with the man that you want to become. So here's the type of books that you should be adding to your reading. 1, books on leadership and purpose. Leadership is the central theme to masculinity, authentic masculinity. So these books will teach you how to take charge of your life, how to guide others, how to live with purpose. Some examples of this may be the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, one of the classics, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is another good book that comes to mind in that category. Another category is you want to be looking to add books that focus on authentic masculinity and relationships. Understanding how masculinity works and how it relates in modern relationships is key. And these books provide insights into what it means to be a man and how to navigate healthy dynamics with others. Some of the examples of these books may be David Data's The Way of the Superior Man, or Dr. Glover's No More Mr. Nice Guy, or Ryan Mickler's The Masculinity Manifesto. Those are a few of the good books in that category. And then you want to look at books on your spiritual growth. You know, if you're a man of faith, Christian like I am, then these type of books can deepen your connection with God, strengthen your faith, and provide guidance for you in living out your values. You know, and some examples include starting with the Bible, of course, if you're a Christian. And I would recommend starting in the books of wisdom. Start with the book of Proverbs and Psalms and Ecclesiastes. Get in there and dig. And then some other books in that category: Wild at Heart by John Eldridge, Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis as well. A couple of examples of some good books. And then books on physical and mental resilience. You know, masculinity is not just mental and spiritual, but it's physical. And so this type of book will teach you discipline. It'll teach you resilience. It'll teach you the value of pushing your limits. You know, some books in that category would be Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Another good one would be Atomic Habits by James Clear. And Stephen Pressfield's The Warrior Ethos. And then another category would be books that challenge your thinking. You know, if you read everything by people that agree with you on everything, then you're not going to grow. You're not going to change. So in order to grow, you're going to have to read some books that challenge your assumptions. These books introduce you to new perspectives. They force you to think critically. Some good books in that would be one of my favorites, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Book of Five Rings. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is another good one that you can add to your list. And these books that I've recommended, I'll put some links down in the description so that you can find some of these. I mean, we live in a day and time where most people can find these with a couple of clicks, but we look for convenience too, right? So I'll add those links down below. But adding these 5 categories of books to your reading list will help you change, because your reading choices today are a reflection of the man that you'll become tomorrow and in the future. So if you're reading books that inspire growth, that challenge your thinking and equip you with the tools that you need for leadership, you're building a foundation for authentic masculinity. If, however, you're stuck in fiction and escapism and nostalgia or superficial content, all you read is blog posts, or even worse, just scrolling through social media, and that's the only reading you do, it's time to change. So here's a simple exercise. Write down the last 5 books that you've read. You may have to think hard on that. You may have to go back to your school days, but write down those last 5 books. What do those books say about your current priorities? Are those books helping you become the man that you want to be? And what's missing from this list? Then the next steps in building your library as a man. You know, if your current reading list is not aligned with your goals, then it's time to adjust. Here's a few ways to help you get started. 1, identify your focus area. You know, what do you want to improve? Is it your leadership skills? Is it your relationship? Is it your spirituality, your walk with God? and choose books that align with these goals. Then set a reading goal. Commit to reading one new book a month. It's really not that difficult to read a book a month. And break it into manageable chunks, say 10 to 20 minutes a day or a couple of times a day at different areas when you wake up, before you go to bed. And then join a group, a community that are like-minded men who are also focused on growth and who share book recommendations. I love being outside, taking all of this in. But join a group that shares book recommendations, that discusses ideas, and holds each other accountable. So my question for you now is, what is your next book? Reclaiming your authentic masculinity is a journey. And reading is one of the most powerful ways to guide you on that journey. You choose, they're not just words on a page. They're stepping stones to the man that you want to become. So what's your next book? What's it going to be? Take a moment. Reflect on your current reading habits. Identify the gaps. See where some changes can be made. And commit to a book that will challenge, inspire, and equip you for the road ahead. Now think about it. The man that invests in his mind, in his character, he's the man that's going to lead, grow, and thrive. Maybe you're interested in us getting together and setting up a virtual book club. If there's enough people interested in it, we'll look at setting that up. I'll set up a website or a private group where we can do that and come together and read through a book a month and discuss the topics, and, bounce some ideas off of each other. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in reading. Leave a comment just saying books, and that'll let me know, and I can get in touch with you. We can go from there. But it's time to step up your game, man. It's time to build that library. It's time to grow. It's time to learn. It's time to change. Reclaim